Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. I'm back with another Monday morning mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? Well, I got something new, but also something familiar. Hang on. That's a good cup of coffee. That really is. And this time around from Trader Joe's. And you know I'm a big fan of Trader Joe's, and I talk about it quite often on the channel, so I appreciate your humoring me on this. But this is Trader Joe's dark coffee. This is their dark blended coffee. A very rich, nice, satisfying cup of coffee. Dark roast, 100% Arabica ground coffee. And really, it's terrific. It really is a very good cup of coffee. So that's what we're having this morning. And we're using the Ohio mug that I got from my niece Kelly, a viewer favorite, a favorite of mine. Reminds me of campfires and gazing up at the stars, doing some stargazing. And now that summer is coming to a close, we're gonna, it's winding down, so we only have precious few days left of those campfires and looking up at the stars and that sort of thing. So get them in while you can. And speaking of coffee, and of course the Trader Joe's, the last time I talked about Trader Joe's coffee, I was talking about their instant coffee packets here, which are terrific for travel. They're pre-measured, pre-made, so to speak. It gives you coffee, creamer, and sugar. Now you could take these and just throw them into your DOP kit, and while you're on the road, and if you need a cup of coffee, all you got to do is get some hot water and just throw this in there, and you've got a nice, balanced cup of coffee with coffee, cream, and sugar. And it's made with real cane sugar too, not high fructose corn syrup. So that is very good. And viewers wanted to know if Trader Joe's made an instant coffee that didn't have the cream and sugar in it. And yes, I'm happy to report that they do have an instant coffee. This is their 100% Colombian instant coffee. Tastes amazingly close to a freshly brewed cup of coffee in an instant. So if you're a Trader Joe's and you're looking for an instant coffee, they have this right here. I haven't tried it yet. Probably going to try it on a future Monday morning mailbag. So looking forward to that as well. So I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. If you're taking me on your morning commute, hey, thanks very much for the ride. I really do appreciate it. Got a lot of great topics this morning. Viewers have just continually contributed great topics. So thanks to all the viewers out there. Really do appreciate it. But let's kick it off as we do every week with a morning shaving tip. Okay, so this morning's viewer shaving tip comes from viewer Martin Ford. And he writes, "Good morning, Mark, from over here in England. I am new to your channel, but just love your boundless enthusiasm and positive vibes in all your videos." Thank you very much, Martin. I really appreciate that. I count myself as an experienced DE wet shaver, but I'm always on the lookout for new products to try and new ideas from other viewers. You're never too old to learn. For what it may be worth, here is my shaving tip. You know how often the bathroom mirror can steam up? Well, just prior to my shower and shave routine, I smear a little liquid hand soap over the mirror and wipe it over with a small towel. No more foggy mirrors. Thank you for all you do on your channel. Kindest regards, Martin. I thought that was great, and I just wanted a few more details, and I wrote Martin back, and I said, what brand soap do you use? Why do you suppose this works? That sort of thing. And he very kindly responded with, "Hi, Mark. I use Carex. It's what we have in our bathroom. I Googled the topic and found this answer. Quote, let's think of it as a way to maintain your bathroom mirror's pristine condition. Shaving cream, toothpaste, laundry detergent, and soap, bar or liquid. These products are surfactants that help prevent water condensation particles from sticking to the glass. Stay safe, Martin." Hey, thanks very much for the details on that and for that word. surfactant. I'll look that one up. But oh no, it's right there. It helps prevent water condensation particles from sticking to the glass. There you go. And really appreciate that shaving tip. I think it's one that a lot of viewers are going to try. And I too will give it a go to keep my mirrors from steaming up. So thanks very much for that, Martin. I appreciate it. And to say thank you, for you and only you, is an original George sketch. So all you have to do is email me your snail mail address at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and I will send this to you post haste. Thanks very much for that, Martin. Also, we have an additional shaving tip from Glenn Tankis. Now, Glenn gave us a previous shaving tip, and I sent him a sketch, but he said he just wanted to send the tip in and share it with viewers. So he wrote, "Hey, Mark, here's a good Monday morning mailbag tip to pass on to your viewers. If you collect razors and have a good amount collected and little space to store them, this is for you. Everyone knows it's back to school now, so you can pick these up at your CVS or Walgreens, Walmart, or online at Amazon. What I found for storing my razors in little space and keep them clean and dust-free are the plastic pencil boxes. They work great. Line the bottom with a paper towel and then lay your razors zigzag, one up, one down, and each box will hold 7 or 8 razors, and then each box can be stacked. They can be stacked on each other to save space where space is limited. Also, the utility boxes are good to store your razor blades, also to save space. I've included a few pictures." Thanks very much for that, Glenn. That is an absolutely wonderful tip if you want to do storage of razor blades, your razors. I'm going to look into that myself. That is a really, really very, very good tip. So thanks very much for sending that along. Really do appreciate it. And thank you again to Martin Ford for sending along his shaving tip. And again, Martin, just send me your address, your snail mail address, and I will get that sketch off to you. And if you too would like an original George sketch, all you have to do is email me a shaving tip at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And if I use it in the shaving tip segment, you too will get an original George sketch. So remember, just email me at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And if you also have the sketch framed up and hanging in your shaving den, send those pictures in as well. Would love to see that. I know other viewers would love to see it, love to see your shaving den set up, that sort of thing. And if you have sent me a picture that I haven't used, give me a little nudge. If you've sent me a tip that I haven't used, give me a little nudge. Sometimes a lot of this information going back and forth, it might just fall between the cracks sometimes. So just give me a little nudge and reminder. All right. Thanks again to Martin, and thanks again to Glenn. Okay, we're off to a great start. Again, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. I hope you're getting ready for that second cup. If you are, let's go back for a refill. Okay, we got some great topics in this morning's refill, kind of jumping all over multiple topics, but really worth revisiting. Bob LaRoe sent this picture and wrote, "Thanks for the info on the razor holder. I got one." Well, thanks to Mark Bagwell. He's the one that suggested these test tube stands be used as razor holders. And Bob, looks like it's working out really, really well for you. That's great. And wonderful solution if you want a razor holder that's inexpensive, looks great in your shaving den, and will hold multiple razors. So thanks very much for that. Bob, really do appreciate it. I'm so glad you're enjoying it and it's working for you. Robert Brose wrote in regards to soap going old. And he said, "I have a huge amount of old soaps and the scent is still there. Also lather great, etc. What I do is let the tin open until the soap is dry. I also have soaps where I don't create the lather in the tin. I take one small amount with a spoon and put this small piece in my special lathering bowl. Greetings. Yeah, that's we've talked about that also, Robert, where you can just scrape out some off of the puck and put it into your scuttle or to your lathering bowl and then build your lather that way. Or just keep that soap tin or soap puck, soap container open for a long time. I leave mine open about 24 hours. So when I'm ready to do my next shave, the very next day, it's been 24 hours, I'll look at it and say, okay, well, I want to use it again, or I'll set it aside, put the lid back on, and then store it away. And, it's none worse for the wear. Keith Osmond contributed this comment. He said, I envy you that you have the Razor Rock Orange Sunrise. Italian Barber no longer carries it. I had it on my wish list for months, waiting for it to come back in stock, and now it's gone from their site. It is really, it's a terrific soap, and I'm glad I bought it when I did. Who knows, they might bring it back. I mean, maybe they'll see this and bring it back. You never know. But he adds this, Arco sticks actually have an expiration date on them. The only shave soap I have with that. You know what? I checked my Arco stick, Keith, and you're correct. There it is right there. Let's see if you can see that right there. Look at that. This one is good from 2015 to 2022. Can you see that right there? I guess that's October 10, 2022. I guess that's October of 2022. Now, I'm thinking maybe it's a best if used by date is what I'm thinking, because I haven't opened this up. This will probably keep for years and years and years and years. Probably the scent will dissipate, but with Arco, that's okay. Because I know the scent is kind of a love-hate relationship with a lot of wet shavers. Keith also added, I just thought to check mine while I was upstairs, meaning his Arco stick. My stick actually has two dates, 8/2019 and 8/2026. I'm assuming the first is date of manufacture, which means the stick was already a year old when I bought it, and that B, Arco says their sticks are good for 7 years. I suspect Artisan soft soaps might not have quite as long a shelf life, but 7 years is encouraging. Yeah, that's mine is, what is it, 2015 to 2022? Yeah, 7 years. That's what that is right there. 7 years, right? Did I do my math correctly? But that's neat. I never noticed that, Keith. Thanks very much. So if you've got some Arco shave sticks that are unopened, look on that label right there. That's fantastic. I was so excited when I finally saw that. Wow, that's great. So that's wonderful, Keith. Thanks very, very much. Thomas A., in regards to the shaving soaps, storage, aging, getting old, reviving them, that sort of thing, says, hi, Mark. I do have some soaps that I have bought early in 2018, and they're all still good. With all the good soaps that came out afterwards, I have completely forgotten about them. Soap should last forever as long as it does not stink or has some moldy spots. I agree. It might change the scent or lose it completely, but it will still lather perfectly fine. That's what I'm hearing. The scent may dissipate, it may fade, but as long as there isn't any rancid scent to it, no mold, anything like that, it'll lather right up and continue to give you great, great lathering performance. You just might not have as potent a scent with it as you once did. So if you've come across them in your shaving den, they've been kind of squirreled away someplace, open them up, check them out, inspect them. However, I will say this, when in doubt, throw it out. Obviously, I always say this, it's a mom rule. When in doubt, throw it out. So if you do have a little bit of a doubt, toss it, because you can always buy new shaving soap. And that's a great excuse to buy some new shaving soap. This one's old. I'm going to go get a new puck. Why not? In regards to fine shaving soaps, the American Blend and Tabak, there was a discussion of whether Tabak and fine shaving soaps shared a manufacturing facility. I wasn't sure about this, but Joe Rouse sent the following. Mark, great Monday morning mailbag today, as usual. Hey, thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. With regards to the last topic of fine and Tabak, I want to share with you what I have read on the shaving forums regarding fine soaps and Tabak. They had apparently been using a soap manufacturer who was using the same base as what was used in Tabak, or at least very similar to it. That's why Fine American Blend was considered the American Tabak. That manufacturer shut down last September, as you noted in today's video. Given that it's been about a year since Fine had to change manufacturers, I don't think Tabak's recent change in formulation has anything to do with the closure of Fine's soap maker. I could, of course, be wrong, but the timing is off, and so I think the change is coincidental, nothing more. Like you, I wanted to pick up some American Blend, not only because I enjoy that kind of barbershop scent, but also because it was constantly compared to Tabak. I had never tried Tabak, and as you may know, the scent of Tabak is a love it, hate it sort of thing, and I wasn't sure I would like it. With the change in formulation for Fine, I just decided to go ahead and purchase a Tabak shave stick. It turns out I do like the Tabak scent. It is unique and non-offensive to my nose, and the soap quality is good. I will be very interested in seeing how the new formulation of Tabak is accepted in the wet shaving world. Hope this was helpful, Joe Rouse. Joe, very, very helpful. Thank you very, very much for that. I really appreciate all that great information that you compiled from different shaving forums. Who knows if they were using the same facility? Sounds like maybe they were. Maybe that's how, like you say, maybe that's how American Tabak moniker came about for the Fine shaving soap. Jeff Durheim contributed the following regarding the reformulation of Tabak. This was kind of unique. He said, great video. I've bought an extra tallow puck of Tabak. Is the new formula now VBAC? Thanks for the warning, Mark. Yeah, Tabak. I got to thinking about that. Tabak. Is that tallow? Is that TA there for tallow? And now that there's no tallow in it, is it maybe it should be called VBAC? You know what? That's kind of funny. I think, who knows? Maybe that's why they're called it Tabak. So if they're taking the tallow out of it, maybe they're going to have to change the name to VBAC. That's very, very funny. I appreciated that. That was great. However, he also added this on another video regarding Fine American Blend shaving soap. As you know, they've got a new soap base, and they discontinued their original tallow-based American Blend shave soap. And he wrote me on that video, and he said that was a video review of the American Blend Fine from, I think, 2017, I think. I bought that shave soap one time and reviewed it. Very, very good. And yeah, I thought it was an American Tabak. It was great. And the scent was wonderful too. And he wrote, hey, Mark, they have some limited inventory of their old tallow blend in stock right now. I saw that, and I went up to the Fine shaving soap website, and I looked around. I went to, I think, a closeout area, and sure enough, they had the Fine shaving soap, the American Blend in tallow. And I was able to get a couple of pucks. And here it is right here. And the ingredients are potassium stearates. Here it is right here. Potassium tallowate and sodium tallowate right there in the back. Can you see that right there? There it is. So yeah, this is the tallow base. This is the original. So thanks very much for the heads up on that, Jeff. And it's a beautiful barbershop scent. It is fresh. It's clean. It's got a nice crispness to it. And it also has, I want to say, God, it's just a classic barbershop scent. I want to say it has a little bit of a citrus kind of edge to it, a little bit there, but it's a really wonderful scent. So we're going to be reviewing this. So thanks very much for that, Jeff. I really do appreciate it. Just got under the wire, interested in maybe reviewing that and comparing it to their new soap base to see how the two of those compare, and then compare that to Tabak again. So yeah, really looking forward to that. So again, Jeff, thanks very, very much. Now, a viewer, Carl Pennington, very, very kindly sent this information along regarding the silver tip Badger brush that Simon Hasanov very, very kindly sent me. And I've been using this all week since I last introduced it to you. And you probably saw the review that I just did. I just posted on this past Friday. That was my first use with the brush. But since then, I'm really enjoying using this brush. And Carl wrote, once you break in the silver tip Badger brush, they don't eat as much soap. I do prefer Badger brushes over synthetic. That brush you received bloomed out nicely. It's a great looking knot. I agree. And Carl, you're right. The shave and the lathering with this has gotten better and better and better and better. I am so impressed by this brush. And again, Simon, thank you very much. Silver tip Badger brush. Wow. Now I understand why these are so favored in the wet shaving community. However, I will say some synthetic brushes out there are just amazing brushes. So that's the great thing about the traditional wet shave. There's so much gear out there. You can go in any direction you want to. But yeah, this is getting better and better and better. So thanks again, Simon. And Carl, thank you very much for passing along that information. Now, in regards to blade storage, I got a lot of great feedback regarding snapping that blade that I showed you last week that was sent in. That was a great, great tip. And Foreskin 1234 sent the following comment. He said, I use a bank for a blade bank at home, the one that looks like a safe. I put a magnet in the bottom, the blades go in the coin slot and stack nicely on the magnet. Every few years, I open it, and with a pair of pliers, I transfer to a medicine bottle. Throw it away. Wow, that is a really neat way of doing it, and I'm assuming it's a little, kind of looks like a little vault, like a little bank safe. You can buy on Amazon, like you say, with a coin slot on the top. That's a great way of doing it. My kid brother had one of those for the longest time, so I know what you're talking about. And I found something that I thought will look similar on Amazon. At least it looked familiar to me from what my brother used, and I think that's what you're referring to. So that's why I went up to the product page and grabbed that screen, did that screen grab, so you can kind of see what that looks like. It also reminds me of a bank that I have, a coin bank that I have. I bought this at an antique store. I've been meaning to show you what I have here, and I was going to use this as a blade bank. This is an antique piggy bank. It's a little pig, right like this, and you can see his tail back there. And it's got a slot here for coins, and it's got a screw here where you can unscrew this. Well, here, maybe I can unscrew it by hand here. Let me see if I can get that out. Yeah, here I could do it like that. I could do it by hand like this. I don't think this is the original screw. I think this is a screw that they put in there. And then you just would open this up and then empty out the blades. And then, just put it back together here. And it goes back together. This little knob here, this little raised area goes right into this hole here. Okay, so it goes in like that. And then there you go. And then you would just put the screw back in, and then you're good to go. And again, as you do, Foreskin 1234, just transfer these to another container to recycle, that sort of thing. Jim Gazda sent a photo, and he's using an Altoids tin. He just fills up a little Altoids tin with razor blades, and then when it's full, off to the recycle center with it. So that was great. That's a really neat option also. And if you're an Altoids user, well, there you go. I mean, that's a great use of repurposing the Altoids tin as a blade bank of sorts. That's great. The other blade bank that I use periodically is this one that I got from Phoenix Shaving. This is their frog bank, ceramic frog bank. It looks like a little frog. Can you see that? Like he's sitting there. Okay, and his mouth is the actual slot for the blades, and then it has a little pliable disc here, a little cover that you can just peel back and then dump out the blades and then recycle them. And that looks great on the counter in your shaving den. So if you're looking for something like that, I'll link this below in case you would prefer to have something like this, a little ceramic blade bank. I like this a lot. This is what I'm using consistently all the time now. But perhaps sometime down the road, I'll use this piggy bank as a blade bank. Yeah, I just happen to have it, and I've been meaning to show it to you for the longest time. So yeah, that kind of wraps up the refill. I'm just going through my subjects. That covers all the bases. So thanks to all the viewers who contributed. Really do appreciate it. Okay, get ready. It's time to check out some new shaving gear. Okay, we got some great items this morning in the new shaving gear segment. Let's kick it off with something from Bob LaRoe. Bob LaRoe is an Amazon Vine reviewer. So he gets some of these products free of charge, being a Vine reviewer. And then he goes ahead and uses them, reviews them, posts them on Amazon. And he very kindly sends along a link to the product. And I will link that below, as well as a link to his review so you can read further about this. But he wrote here, I tried a Korean pre-shave from Amazon Vine. It's not an oil or cream, but a gel. Seemed to work very well. It comes in 3 kinds. This one didn't seem to have a scent. He's talking about the Barber 501 Shaving Booster Red Tea Tree. It's 66 milliliters in size. That's the amount that you get, 66 milliliters. And it's less than $10. So I will link to that and also to his review so you can get a look at it and see if it's something you want to try. I'm kind of interested. If I get some Amazon points, I might put that in my cart and get that as well. So thanks very much for sending that along, Bob. I really do appreciate it. Richard Perlitz wrote, since I sadly had to part ways with alum, which my skin didn't like, I started taking the advice of one of your viewers and running an ice cube along my face after the shave. I really like the effect, especially because living in Florida, my cold water almost never gets truly cold except during the peak of winter. On the other hand, the ice cube was difficult to wield, being that it was slippery, uncomfortably cold in the fingers, and melted quickly. Also, I was using traditional ice trays, and it was a pain finding a cube that wasn't somewhat jagged. Solution: I purchased silicone sphere ice molds, about $12 for a set of 4 molds on Amazon. It makes a ball of ice that would fit neatly into a Parasso tub. It's perfectly smooth and substantial enough that it holds its mass well while I'm in the shower, and it doesn't melt away too quickly when using it after the shave. Best of all, the bottom of the silicone mold can be used to grip the ice, so it's much more comfortable to hold. I like the Phoenix no-slip grip system, but for ice, this is a game changer. Link below, and he sent along a link, and I will link to that product as well for all of you out there that are looking for maybe you're like Richard and alum doesn't really agree with you. You're using an ice cube, or you want to try an ice cube. This might be a really, really great introduction to that. So thanks very much for sending that along, Richard. That's terrific. Viewer Ken Frederick wrote regarding a new razor blade he came across. He wrote, "Hey Mark, I was just curious if you've ever used these double-edged blades." These are the Champion Super Stainless double-edged blades he's referring to. "I got them as part of a sample pack, and after trying them out on 3 different occasions, the results were very poor. They really carved up my face, even after applying extra shaving gel and shaving cream. I know the old adage of your mileage may vary, but I would be truly amazed to hear of someone ranking these blades among their favorites." And he goes on to say, "I would love to hear the opinion of your viewers on these blades. It's probably inconsequential, but my pack also has the words Swiss quality printed on the pack, as seen here." And he gave a link to a little YouTube video that shows that. So if you've ever used Champion Super Stainless double-edged blades, what has been your experience with them? I've never used them. I've never heard of them. So I'm not sure, Ken, but thanks for passing that along. Maybe we can get some feedback from some of the viewers out there who may be familiar with these and maybe give a little bit of background, let us know if they've used them, that sort of thing. So thanks again, Ken. Appreciate that heads up on that particular razor blade. James Gazda again sent along this, Jim from Northfield. Hey Mark, one more tip. I use these soap savers, 2 for $1 at the Dollar Tree for my alum blocks. They allow total circulation of airflow to dry out the block. Plus, I place a small rubber band around it for easier grip. Have a wonderful week, Jim. Hey, yeah, thanks very much for that, Jim. I will check those out myself next time I'm at the Dollar Tree. Another option, of course, I use the dry dock system from Phoenix Shaving. I absolutely love the dry dock system. And of course, the no-slip grip. Love this. Absolutely love this. I think this is probably the best bargain in alum blocks in the wet shaving world right here. I think this is the biggest bang for the buck regarding an alum block, a dry dock system. Even if you get the one in the travel case, it is absolutely marvelous. So that's what I like. But here's another option if you're in a pinch and you're in a hurry, whatever. Dollar Tree, check it out. And thanks very much for passing that along. Frank Miska wrote regarding the Parker review that I did on the Parker 56R right here. Boy, this is a beautiful, beautiful razor, isn't it? Absolutely wonderful shave with this razor. And he wrote and said, "Hi, Mark, I noticed that you've started to use the Parker 3-piece razors." Well, yeah, I have the A1R and I have the semi-slant and the 56R. They're very, very good. I have a number of them, and they all shave smoothly and efficiency, like the shave you experience with the 56R. My two favorite Parker 3-piece razors are the 69CR, the gold dual comb razor I told you about in a previous post, and the 65R, a beautiful razor and great shaver. However, the under-the-radar winner of arguably the best value in wet shaving is the RazorRock Lupo DC dual comb razor. Much like the Vikings blade dual comb concept, the razor has an open and closed comb side to alternate the aggression of your shave. It is all stainless steel, comes with a bulldog handle, produces a marvelous shave, and is priced at $69. RazorRock, like PAA and Parker, have a number of terrific razors that are also budget friendly. Keep up the great content coming on your Monday morning mailbag. Hey, thanks very much for that, Frank. And I will link all those razors below, as well as the Parker razors, the 56R, the A1R, the semi-slant. They're all great razors. Again, it's the great thing about doing the traditional wet shave. There is so much gear out there. You'll definitely find a razor, a soap, an aftershave, a blade, a brush that fits your skin type, your beard type, and your wallet. That's why I love doing it. I love the process, love talking about all this stuff. It's just great. So thank you very much, Frank, and thanks to the other contributors who sent in all those great leads on new shaving gear. Thanks very much, folks. Okay, we got some great questions and comments. A lot of great stuff this morning. Let's kick it off with something I got from viewer Bob LaRoe. He sent in this picture that ran on Reddit, and the caption with this picture was, "A couple pounds of razor blades in my wall. Apparently, old medicine cabinets have a disposal slot." Yes, they did. As a matter of fact, I also did a video on a medicine cabinet with a razor blade slot that would act as a kind of a blade bank. This was a slot that was right into your wall, and the blades would drop in between the wall, in between those studs. And some folks have bought these older homes. You always hear about that. They're buying these older homes and they're renovating them, and they're tearing out a wall in a bathroom or some other similar area, and they find these piles of old razor blades that have been dropped in there for the last 50, 60, 70 years. So yeah, this is one instance of it. Someone named Book Prof on Reddit posted that photo. I asked them if I could use that. They very kindly allowed me to. And I just thought that was absolutely great. And again, I did a video showing that blade slot, and a lot of folks still use it. As a matter of fact, there's also a product out there. I think I saw that on Maggard Razors, but probably on Amazon too. You know what? If I find it, I'll link it. It's just a wall plate. It's a wall plate with a slot so that you can cut a little hole in your wall, put this plate on there, and drop blades in between your wall too, in between the studs if you want to. So it's a practice that is still out there from what I understand. Again, I'll try to link that slot, that plate with a blade slot that allows you to actually adhere to your wall, screw it to your wall, and cut a little hole in there so you could drop blades in between your wall. Kind of goes along with our theme regarding blade banks and blade disposals, that sort of thing. Thanks very much for the picture, Bob, and thanks to Book Prof up on Reddit for allowing me to use it on the Monday morning mailbag. Okay, so this next comment comes from viewer Jimmy V Photography, and he very kindly sent along a very informative link. And he sent this information to me this past Labor Day weekend. And he wrote, "Happy Labor Day weekend. I managed to order the Droid Black. Doug was super nice, and we did a Facebook chat as I had some newbie questions." Yeah, Droid Black. Just as an aside, this is a wonderful scent. This is Phoenix Shaving's homage to Floyd Black. If you haven't seen my review or my discussion about this last week on the Monday morning mailbag, just suffice to say, wonderful, wonderful scent. You will not be disappointed. Love, love, love this scent. And I got it in CK6, and it really lathers up a storm. So yeah, again, Droid Black, check it out. But anyhow, he continues. I don't know if you've seen this sharpness chart, but just in case you hadn't seen it, I thought I would pass it along. I found it very enlightening regarding how some blades seem to shave better the second time around. Have a great weekend. Thanks very much for that, Jimmy V. I really appreciate that. I've not seen this chart. I'm so glad you passed it on. Thank you again for the link to the image so that the viewers can go directly to it and go to this website and get some information. This is always the question in comparing different blades. Well, this seems to be a great, great resource that might help you in deciding which blade works best for you. So thanks very much. That is an awesome resource, Jimmy V. Really, really do appreciate it. And again, I'll have those links below. Okay, so this next comment comes from a viewer named Ronnie, and he writes, "Hi Mark, I have at least 10 safety razors and use the Parker travel razor mostly as my daily driver for some years. In combination with the Persona Platinum blades, it gives me great shaves. Since 1 month, I use the Parker A1R with Voskhod blades." I think he means for the last month he's been using the Voskhod blade with the Parker A1R. "With this blade, the shaves are the smoothest and cleanest I've ever had. Best feeling while and after the shave. This combination works for me the best, and I have used a lot of different razors and blades. Greetings from Germany, Ronnie." Ronnie, great that the A1R works for you. I have talked about this before and just got done talking about Parker razors and mentioned this and forgot to show it. But yeah, it's a fantastic razor for the money. And yeah, it comes with a beautiful leather case, and I never tire about talking about it. There is the cap and base plate, and of course, there is the two pieces for the handle, and I like to keep the, I'll show this to you again. When I put it in there, I like to keep the threaded stud pointed upward so I can grab it, and then that is the area, that's the top of the handle that goes into, so I can just kind of screw that in right there. That's the threaded part, the female end that it goes into, and then I can just pull the whole handle out there like that. And of course, here's the top here, and then all you have to do is screw that in like that. Ta-da! And you've got yourself a wonderful razor. Again, let me show you what it looks like next to the Parker 56R. So it is a shorter handle razor, but yeah, this is wonderful. I can understand why someone would use this as a daily driver because this shaves very, very similar to this. The only difference is this is a longer handle, a little more weight, but the razor heads, from what I understand, are the same. And yeah, I am becoming enamored with the Parker razor. I like them a lot. And of course, you heard the comments from Frank Miska in the wet shaving gear segment, how he likes his Parker razors. Yeah, so I think they're coming on strong. I know they've had some quality control problems in the past with plating and that sort of thing. I think they've got everything corrected and under control, and they are producing a really nice razor. I believe these are produced out of India. And yeah, well, this one says India right here. Okay, India, right there. So I think most of the Parker razors are produced out of India. This one, yeah, here, this one says India as well. Can you see that? India. Did I get that right? Yeah, India. So they're making some really, really fine razors, and they're priced nice price point. They give a great shave and beautifully plated and nicely weighted, and they produce a nice, smooth, efficient shave. So the A1R and with the Voskhod blade works for Ronnie. So if you have the A1R, pop in a Voskhod blade, see if you're going to get a similar result. Obviously, your mileage may vary, but this is a really wonderful razor. And yeah, if I travel, this is definitely going with me because it produces a wonderful shave. It's very compact in a really nice leather case. And it really gives a nice smooth shave. So yeah, thanks very much for that, Ronnie. I'm glad it's working out for you. You might also want to consider the 56R or a couple of the razors that Frank Miska mentioned as well. So thanks again, Ronnie, for tuning in. Really, really do appreciate it. Appreciate the comment and confirming how great the A1R is. Thanks again. Okay, so this next question comes from viewer Varun Mehta. Boy, I sure hope I pronounced your name correctly. Anyhow, Varun Mehta writes, "Hello, sir. How would you compare Voskhod to feather blades in terms of irritation and clean shave in a mild razor like the Merkur 34C, Merkur HD 34C?" Well, you know, the feather blade has been something that I have, I tread lightly with this. And only recently have I been using this in milder razors. Now, I have yet to use this in the Merkur 34C. The Voskhod is a very, very good blade. And I think the difference between these two in the Merkur 34C is going to be that the feather will offer you more blade edge, more blade feel, so to speak. The Merkur 34C is a very mild razor. I like it a lot. My experience with it has been that it has a narrower angle of approach in the shave. In other words, you have to be right on the mark and your technique has to be very, very strict. That's been my experience with it. And I would assume, and I'm gonna do a review of the feather blade in a Merkur 34C. I would assume that the feather blade would offer more edge and more feel so as to allow you to really hit that angle very, very well. My experience with this has been some milder razor blades, so to speak. Because they're a little mild, you don't really have that blade edge. And you end up not keeping strict technique and maybe missing some areas. This for me is a 3-pass razor. It does a wonderful job, but again, it's very mild and I have to use strict technique with it. My thought is that the feather blade is going to offer more blade edge than say a Voskhod or an Astra or any of those blades. That's my initial hunch, so to speak. But I'll have to do that to try and see if that's exactly what's happening. But I don't think I'm far off on my guess, to be perfectly honest with you. Like this razor a lot, and I am starting to use the feather blade in other mild razors that I have, and it is just giving me some great performance. Will I use it in a more aggressive razor like a 41 like a 41R? The Mueller 41R. Well, I have the Mueller 102, which is a 41R razor head. I don't think I'm going to use it in something that aggressive, but for something like Godfather Stonehenge 34C, the Phoenix Shaving Metaphor. These are all wonderfully mild yet efficient razors. The feather blade, I think, is going to do just a wonderful job with it. But again, in the 34C, I think it's going to offer more edge You're going to have a little more blade feel with it because it's so sharp. And I think as a result of that, you're going to be able to stay on the mark when you use this and get a really nice clean shave. That's my hunch. You know what? I'm not going to know for sure until I do the shave. So I'm going to try to do that in the next, hopefully within the next week. So, I hope that helps. Hopes that helps in answering your question, Varun. I think it's a very good question. And again, I'm kind of late to the party when it comes to feathered blades, but I'm really, really glad. Mark Bagwell very kindly sent me some, and I'm really, really glad and happy to be using them now. And I'm really surprised at how great they are. And I really shouldn't have feared them in the very beginning. A lot of wet shavers thought that these were downright dangerous. I'm just glad I'm using them in milder razors. Again, using in some more aggressive razors like the Mula 41R and that sort of thing, it probably can be a little too much for me. But in milder razors, I'm learning that these really, really do sing. And I think with this one, it'll enable you to have a little more blade edge and blade feel so you can stay right on the mark when it comes to technique and keeping your technique very, very strict. At least that's my guess. So I hope that helps, Varun. Thanks very much for the question. Okay, so this next comment comes from viewer Billy Jevons via Facebook Direct Messenger. And he writes, "Hi, Mark. It's been about a year since I bought the King C Gillette safety razor." Yeah, that's this one right here. Beautiful razor. Really, really offers a terrific shave. Wonderful razor. Smooth, mild, efficient. Like it a lot. Beautifully chromed too. Just a strikingly good looking razor. I tried it with canned shaving gel, the squirty type, and cut myself to ribbons. This can't be, I thought, so I went to the fount of all knowledge, YouTube, and you were one of the first shaving YouTubers I found. Thank all that I hold precious I did. All I could find in the supermarket here in the UK was Wilkinson Sword soap puck and a Wilkinson Sword brush. That was the start. You will remember I contacted you when I visited Mitchell's Woolfat here in Bradford, UK, and spoke with you about Tabak, etc. Yeah, I do remember that, yes. A year on, and my advice to new shavers is to take your time. It has been said many times, but it can't be overstated. Try different setups and get a sample pack or order blades that would amount to a sample pack. Try different soaps and a few different razors. I appreciate not everyone can afford lots of things all at once, but lots of soaps and razors are relatively inexpensive, and the more costly stuff can always go on birthday and Christmas lists. I agree. Once you start doing the traditional wet shave, your family knows what to buy you. And nieces and nephews have come through with some great, great stuff for me regarding the wet shave. No longer will you be hard to buy for. Don't always chase the BBS because the blade razor combo you're using might just not deliver that for you. It doesn't mean you'll never get it, but you will discover it as your equipment and technique develops. Absolutely true. I agree with that. The community of traditional wet shavers is pretty good and is one, generally speaking, where there is no such thing as a silly question. If I was to be asked for a top tip or advice on what I do differently, I'd say nothing. The traditional wet shave is a journey that never stops. So the top tip is patience. Yeah, thanks very much for that, Billy. That is really those are some really insightful, really nice comments. And I hope that if you're a new viewer and you're new to the wet shaver, run that over again and listen to that, because everything that he says there really is on the mark. And the key is patience, especially when you're first starting out. Take your time. Enjoy the shave. Do all the proper prep. Try different razor blades with your razor. Try some different combos. Try some different soaps. And he's correct. A lot of the soap out there is very good and very, very affordably priced. There's some great soap out there that is affordably priced and is just wonderfully performing soaps. They're just absolutely great. And as I always say, great time to be doing the traditional wet shave. There is so much gear out there. I said it earlier in the show. I'll say it again. Great time to be doing the traditional wet shave. There's so much gear out there. You'll find a razor, a blade, a brush, a soap, an aftershave that fits your skin and your beard type and your wallet. Absolutely true. So Billy, thanks very much for those very, very insightful comments. Really do appreciate it. Okay, so this next comment comes from viewer GJC, also known as Gary. And he writes, this kind of fits in with blade disposal. We've been talking about blade disposal, blade banks, that sort of thing. Mr. Zarady, this page was very difficult to find. We can use the interactive map on this page to find public drop-off sites for disposable razors and blades. Collection schedules change for some sites, so once any site appears to be identified, the person still needs to check with that place to see if it really does collect the used items and to find the collection schedule. And it's an interactive map, and he sent along the link, and I have it right on my screen right now, and I'm going to that page, and it is looks like it's National Recycling Solutions, Zero Waste Box. Looks like Gillette is a sponsor, Planet Kind, but you can go up there and you can find an area where you can recycle and dispose of your razor blades. So I will link that below, and you can go up there and find a location near you. That's really, really very, very helpful. So my thanks to Gary for sending that along. And again, I'll have it linked below. Check it out if you're interested. If you're getting a lot, if your blade banks are kind of filled with razor blades, check it out. It might be a very, very helpful site to visit. So thanks again, Gary. Really, really do appreciate it. Okay, now I've been meaning to show this to you all show. As you recall, I had a Gillette Slim that I sent out to Northshore razors. I showed it to you in the condition that it was in. And viewer Mark Bagwell recommended Northshore razors. Here they are right here, Northshore razors, because they do a gun coating to vintage razors. And I sent this Slim in to be tuned up and to have the gun coating. As you can remember, the doors were snapping open and snapping closed, and things were a little bit out of alignment. And they very kindly sent it back. And it came in a box like this. I've kind of repackaged it because I've already shaved with it. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And they had some information in there. My bill, now it was $65 for the gun coating, $5 upcharge because I added a third color, which was the red highlights. And the ship back, $8.40 via the Postal Service, so $78.40 for the gun coating, but well worth it. They also sent a sticker, Northshore, okay, and a business card right here. You get a screenshot of that so you can contact them if you want to. Scott was very, very, very accommodating, okay? Get a screenshot of that. And, of course, they have some information here on the care of the razor and directing you to their website where you can get further information on the care of this razor. Do not use it says here, we do not recommend cleaning, sanitizing your coated razor with chemicals or placing it in an ultrasonic cleaner. Sonic waves could weaken or damage the bond. Just wanted to mention that to you right off the top in case you want to have this process done to one of your vintage razors. So ultrasonic cleaners, big no-no. So they sent it back to me in this nice bag right here. And with a little thank you tab, tab there. And here it is right here. I just kind of put it back together because, again, I have shaved with it. And here it is. It's absolutely beautiful. And here it is. And this is the same color scheme that you'll see on their main page when you go up there. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It is like night and day from when I sent it out. But here's the really, really nice thing, is these doors no longer snap up or down anymore. Everything's been aligned very, very nicely. And they open and close. It's a big 100% improvement. And the adjustment dial clicks through very, very nicely and securely. And you can see here, there's a little red highlight here, so I can see exactly where the numbers are. Little red highlight here. That was the $5 upcharge, but well worth it. I mean, it just really dresses up the razor very, very nicely. And everything's been tuned up very nicely. Quarter turn is very firm and secure. And the other thing is that there were some dings on the handle and on the comb. They pointed out to me, Scott pointed out to me in photos that he sent to me after he inspected it. He says, you know what, someone took a needle nose pliers here to try to adjust this thing. You can see over here, you see over there. And the great thing is that this gun coating really, really does hide those blemishes. Now, I know they can only do so much, but for this particular one, I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find any of them. I could probably find one here, maybe, maybe another. I can't really find it. I could see this one right here, but it is so subtle. You really have to be hard pressed to find them. But according to what Mark Bagwell was saying in talking about Northshore, is that if you have a Gillette Slim or another vintage razor that's kind of banged up, and doing a replate might bring out those blemishes a little more so, the gun coating does a better job in hiding them, so to speak. And really, the comb on the one side here was really quite damaged from whoever was plying them around with the needle nose pliers. And I'm looking at it now, and I can't notice it. I cannot notice it. I mean, I don't know where it is. I mean, it just, and it shaves great. And again, the quarter turn is very, very good. The clicking through is wonderful. The doors no longer snap open and closed. They're, open up nicely, close nicely, just like the Slim should. So they did an absolutely wonderful, wonderful job. I think it was worth every penny to go with this process. So if you are looking for a Slim or a Fat Boy or a Tech or whatever, or other vintage razor, and you find one that is pretty banged up and you don't think it can be restored, you know what? Give this process a look. And Scott is very accommodating. I think I sent him some photos. I sent him some video of what the doors did and how they were snapping. And he said, oh yeah, I know what that is. So he was able to tune that and realign everything. And it is just a wonderful, wonderful result. Yeah, I recommend going with him. Now he's located in Hawaii. So if you're going to ship something, ship it via the United States Postal Service. It cost me about $8-9 to send it out there and $8-9 to send it back, which was very reasonable compared with, say, UPS, which I looked at them. They wanted like $80-90 to send something out there. Postal Service did a much better job in mailing it to them and got it there in like 2-3 days, something like that. But yeah, it really looks wonderful. And it looks awesome. It looks brand new. It shaves wonderfully well. These Gillette Slims are wonderful, wonderful razors. And it is nicely tuned and everything works on it very, very well. I'm very, very happy with the result, and it just looks great. So it was a really, really nice option for this particular Slim. And I'm glad that I tried this process out. So I can give it a firsthand recommendation. It really, really was good. And I think it is probably a good solution if you find a razor that's, kind of banged up and, maybe plating will accentuate some of those dings, that sort of thing. I think this is probably might be a better option. But regardless, regardless of what the condition of the razor is, you can get any kind of color scheme up there. He sends you some color models and a breakdown of the different parts of the razor, and you can kind of select what you want and how you want the colors laid out. And really, he really goes above and beyond in accommodating you to give you exactly what you want. Now, I just said, look, just give me what's on your main page so folks are familiar with it and can see it, and they can see the result of my razor. But if I find another Slim that's in similar condition, I'm going to send it to them and try out another color scheme and do a little more legwork and actually look at the parts and figure out where I want those colors on the various handle and the collar and the doors, that sort of thing. So this was a 3-color process because of the red highlights. Normally, the 2-color process does not have that $5 upcharge, and 2-color looks great as well. And you can see all that on their website, all on their product pages. And again, they are Scott is a real pleasure to work with. So Northshore, again, Northshore razors. They did an absolutely wonderful job. I am so very, very pleased, and new life into this Gillette Slim. And again, another great option if you don't want to go with the traditional nickel or chrome plating. Check this out, gun coating. Really, really terrific. Thanks again to Scott and everyone at Northshore Razors for accommodating me. I'm really very, very pleased with it. And it's tuned up too, which is really nice. So thanks again. Really do appreciate it, Scott. Okay, that's it. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below, let me know. Check out the Executive Shaving Company. Use the code MARK5. Check out my blog, georgetoon.com/blog for my comic strip George, other cartoons, other videos like this. I'm on Facebook. Check out my Facebook page. Check out Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements for some great shaving gear. Check out VikingsBlade.com for some great shaving gear. Check out Global Shave Clubs International for some great shaving gear. Check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/MarkZerati, where you'll find all the products I review on this channel, organized and categorized, so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.